I crawled up here looking for guy number 2, and guy number 2, folks, was laying sideways right here, face down in that bay between the 2 trusses, face down in the insulation. Okay, that's insulation in these bays, and acting like he was asleep. Well, I've been trying to avoid driving and filming, but unfortunately today, that's just gonna have to be how it is, because I got a lot to share with you guys. I want to start this off by saying, man, where do I even begin? It's always something with this house, always something. Can't nothing ever go right, this is all my fault. I'm not gonna bitch, but I am gonna share with you guys an absolutely crazy story of what happened yesterday. A couple of lessons, take them with a grain of salt, I guess. But the most important lesson I want to share with you guys first. I was telling my wife this Friday night. I said, you know what's crazy about this house is I've tried to go about this the cheapest possible route, and going the cheap route has cost me more in the end. HVAC twice, electrical 3 times, and I also just went and bought another stove. So I bought 2 stoves for this house as well. But that's neither here nor there. The big lesson and what this story is probably going to focus around is, you know, I'm just dumb when it comes to this business thing, and I am way too nice. I'm way too trusting as well. And another thing, I should have gone with my gut yesterday, and what my gut was telling me was that I needed to shut the job down at the house. And because I wouldn't end up doing that, things would end up getting so much worse. So much worse. Probably the worst that they have ever been at the house that I know of. So there's that. A lot of cliffhangers right there. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday. It started out as a really good day. I was planning on having all sorts of people over at the house working. Everything was seeming like that was gonna happen and everything was gonna go off without a hitch. My new general contractor was to even begin yesterday, and he did. And the other work that I had going on at the house would also eventually start taking place. But the story starts at 11:45 yesterday morning, on Saturday morning. And that would be the time that I brought my wife over to the house, because I was so proud, because finally things were seeming to be going right. But I would quickly learn upon getting to the house that that couldn't be anything farther from the truth. My new GC and his guy, they were there installing the window for the kitchen. They were the only people there. The other work that I had going on at the house yesterday, those guys were supposed to be there as well. And I'm not gonna name any names in this. I know you guys say that I'm blasting people every time that something goes wrong. Well, folks, how about this? How about I don't put any names out there? Me and my wife showed up at the house at 11:45 yesterday morning, and I would learn from my GC that the other people who were there were supposed to be 2 individuals. They were supposed to be there working, and I learned that they showed up at about 11:15, and then they hauled ass immediately. Didn't do any work at all. Hauled ass, talking about they had to hurry up and get to the bank. Okay. I called the other individuals, and all I ask is, hey, have you guys been at the house already? And they said, yep, we've already been working. I said, well, talk about what you guys have been getting done so far. They said, we've been in the attic, we've been getting stuff done in the attic. I said, okay. I went back in the house and I asked my new GC, hey, were those guys in the attic? He told me no. This guy's got no reason to lie. So now I know that we're already dealing with some lies going into Saturday. That was the first red flag. The second red flag would be that these 2 individuals would show up and something was clearly wrong with the both of them. And when I say wrong, I mean they were high. They were super high. And I'm not talking about smoking no weed or nothing like that. I'm talking about zooted, possibly even tweaking. Hell, I don't know. But definitely something was up. Should have shut it down right then and there. And this was absolutely embarrassing for my wife to be over here and her seeing all of this, and you know, she was definitely not happy about this, and definitely not happy with the way that I was going about handling this situation. But I let these guys continue to work. I let these guys work. I should have probably never, I never should have done that. I should have shut it down and nipped it in the butt right then and there, but I didn't. Me and my wife would end up leaving. My GC would leave. He would have to go back over there a little while later to pick up his worker. And I called and I asked my GC, I said, do me a favor, I know it's not your responsibility, but just check on those guys that I've got working in there and let me know what you think. My GC would end up texting me one word: hi. That's what they wore. I called my GC and I said, look, man, if this was your job, what would you do? And I already know, what I needed to do. I needed to go shut it down. I said, would you shut this down? He said, absolutely. So I was on my way over to the house to go shut this job down. And we're talking about, it's probably only about 1:30 by this point. About 1:30, I was on my way over to the house to shut the job down. And I get over to the house. And these guys are working. And because I'm trying to get work done and I'm not trying to really shut nothing down, I don't. But I justify this by saying, well, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna babysit these guys. And I even had a talk with one of the guys about why I was popping up like I was, why I was staying there like I was. And I said, because you know why I'm staying here. And this person immediately went to, well, if you think I'm high, you're crazy. Okay. Well, you look high, sound high, you're sweating your ass off, and granted, you're working, but something is clearly wrong with you. This person would deny this to the very end. I mean, damn near swear on their life that they were okay, and make me feel like I was completely wrong. Maybe I was. At least that's what I was thinking at the time. I stayed over there for about an hour and a half. These guys were working. Seemed like they were sobering up a little bit, coming down, whatever. And I would make another crucial mistake, and that was I had to go to Lowe's to go pick up some materials. I was only at Lowe's for 15 minutes. When I left, everything was seeming about as good as it could be when you got two people at your job clearly impaired. So everything was going about as good as it could have. This whole situation was just super messed up. I get back to the house 15 minutes later. The vehicle is there. I know these guys are there. I'm coming in with the materials and I can't get in the front door. The front door is locked, which it never should be locked. It's never locked when nobody's there working. So I start calling their names. Hey, I'm back. Hey, I'm back. Hey, come open the door. I don't hear nothing in the house. Nothing. It's quiet as a church mouse. It was sounding like work was going on when I left, but now it's quiet as a church mouse. So I'm already red flagged out. I know what's going on. I go around to the back door. Of course, the back door is locked as well. And then I start to hear a little bit of commotion, and it's coming from the attic. And I already know that these two guys are hiding in the attic, getting high. And I came back to the job too early. Came back to my own house too soon. I finally, after about 10 minutes, get one of these guys to come down and open the front door. And when he opens the front door, he unlocks it, and he opens it and he immediately turns his back to me and he's walking away. And he's walking like, his walk is just crazy. 1,000 miles an hour, just crazy. And I absolutely lose my shit. I snap. I said, what in the hell is going on in this house? This dude turns around and faces me, and he is completely gone. Gone. I know what's been going on. I said, you guys are getting high in my house, and I am screaming. And he is acting like I am completely wrong. How dare me accuse him of getting high? Says he doesn't do that. Clearly he does. So I said, well, where's the other guy at? Where's the other guy at? He says, I don't know where he's at. I'm not his babysitter. I was up in the attic working. Now, funny little footnote, he wasn't supposed to be working in the attic. He had a lot of stuff to be doing downstairs. He wasn't doing that though. In the midst of me snapping, I call my GC just to have somebody on the phone because I have no idea how this situation is gonna go. And I tell him, I said, I just need you to be on the phone because I don't know. It's 2 against 1 at this point. I said, where's the other guy at? In the midst of all of this, I'm looking in closets. And this other guy the guy that I'm already going in on, he's already ran back up in the attic, up the ladder, already in the attic, flailing. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at. I'm not his babysitter. I crawl up the ladder into the attic, and the other guy, you'll never believe this, he's laying right there on the ground, trying to act like he's asleep. And he even starts snoring a little bit. And I am screaming, get the F up! This is not gonna happen. But it already is. I finally get the first guy to come back down out of the attic. I'm screaming on him. I cannot have this at this house. This ain't gonna fly. He's blaming everything on the other guy. I don't know what he's doing. You're not gonna get me fired from this job, is what he's saying about the other guy. And then he runs back up in the attic again, screaming on this dude, and then the guy finally comes through. Now, mind you, I was screaming at this guy for a good 5 minutes. I even took a picture of him. Folks, if I shared the picture with you, well then, it would be even more crazy. Of this person laying there, acting like they were asleep. The first guy gets the other guy to wake up. And he comes back down. First guy, not the second guy who was acting like he was asleep. He comes back down. I'm screaming on him. I said, I'm going to handle him in a moment. And guy number 2, who was acting like he was asleep, he's up in the attic acting like he's working again. So by the time I get done laying into guy number 1, I go up into the attic, and guy number 2, he's so messed up, so high, that he's no longer laying where he was. He's laying on my HVAC return box, a box, and he's crushed it, completely crushed it in. And he cannot even function at all. He's completely manic. And I'm screaming at him to get off the HVAC. You're breaking the HVAC. And he grabs the duct, and I don't know if he tore that out. I don't think that he did, but he stepped on a junction box and broke that. And he's tangled up in an electrical cord, and I'm like, yo, you need to get out of this attic right now. And then he finally does, in complete denial that anything is wrong with him at all. Needless to say, I should have shut this job down, and I didn't. And this is what happened. And you know what else is crazy about this is guy number 1, after I finally got guy number 2 out of the attic, you know, he's ready to quit. Oh, I can't, you know, okay, yeah, sure, quit, because you're getting fired is what's going on right now. So he goes running back up into the attic, acting like he's grabbing some tools. And he comes down with an empty bit box, like a little plastic bit box for drill bits, and a piece of scrap sheet metal. Those were the tools he was up there grabbing, supposedly. When it wasn't even in hindsight, I knew the entire time. He's up there trying to make sure there's no paraphernalia left around the house, up in my attic. So, both of these guys denied this to the fullest. Guy number 1 put everything on guy number 2. Put it all on him. So there was that. Guy number 2 denied it to the fullest. Guy number 1 would end up telling me even more information that I don't even know what to do with. Crazy shit. And where I'm at right now is literally getting ready to be back at the house. I mean, we're back at the house now. This is the first time that I'm going back over there since all of this took place yesterday. I'm sure the neighbors heard this. I had to tell my wife about this. My new GC saw this. How professional does this look? And I really want to go and inspect this damage. That's what I really want to do, but I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to get into the house because Jellicoe is supposed to meet me over here. He's got a key to this place. And then my GC's got a key. Actually, Jellicoe's got 2 keys. So Jellicoe's got 2 keys. My GC's got a key, and I ain't even got a key. So I'm literally sitting here right now. Jellicoe's not here yet. I'm gonna call him, see if I can get in contact with him, see if I can get up in here and show you guys what I've just been telling you about. So let me make a phone call and see what's going on. All right. So, up in the house, Jellicoe's here. I just had a conversation with Jellicoe about all of this. I'm sure he's got things he wants to say about all of this as well. Folks, I'm going to show you guys the shit show, unfortunately. And, you know, at this point, it's all about damage control. And we've got damage, so I don't know. All right, so here's thing number one that I never liked, but it is what it is. So we got this freaking bottle of Fireball, you know, that's been in the house. It was up in the attic. It's leaking like a bitch. You know, that should never even been in here, but there's that. But all of the damage is up there.
Yeah, and
you seeing it? What are you thinking?
I brought a little piece of the Fireball. You know, I drink. I brought it as a gift because we were picking somebody up to give them a ride home. You know, at the end of the job, I never drank on the job, party on the job, but at the end of almost every job, I'll have a beer. You know, and sometimes I forget where people are coming from, you know, addiction and stuff like that. But generally, the people I surround myself by, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt and at least hope that they've dealt with their addiction and such. And
I'm not putting none of this blame on you, Jellicoe. You weren't even here for this. That's not where the issue is. The issue is, I mean, I guess it is part of the issue. Fuck it. If we're gonna be on that tip, that's part of the issue, okay? But as I was sharing the story with you guys about what happened, you know, and how guy number one was running back up into the attic, and I said that he came down with like some bullshit. Well, folks, it's actually sitting right here. This is what he came down with, Jellicoe, when he said he had to go get his tools. Literally, this is it. Here's the bit box, okay? Right? Here's the bit box, and a piece of scrap metal is what he had in his hand. Like, so what he was doing was he was running back up there to make sure that he didn't leave no freaking paraphernalia laying around.
yeah, that's what it sounds like, man. I mean, there's no deviating away from the fact that the obvious, man. As much as we don't want to talk about certain things, I mean, when it is what it is, it's pretty evident, man. I brought a couple people on the job that haven't worked out, and it seems like every time I'm with somebody, they do fine, and once the second they're left alone or to do what has been asked, it doesn't pan out.
You weren't here for this shit show that it was yesterday, Jellicoe, so I don't even want to put the blame on you, okay? Look, you speak some truth, though. Some of the guys, well, all the guys that I've used of yours, pretty much all of them, we've had an issue. Maybe it's me, you know, but it's not. It's not. The only good thing that came out of yesterday was the window. We did get the window partially installed yesterday, so there's that. But now, I want to go up in this attic and I want to show you guys what happened. So, I crawled up here looking for guy number two. And guy number two, folks, was laying sideways right here, face down in that bay between the two trusses, face down in the insulation. Okay, that's insulation in these bays. And acting like he was asleep. I'm screaming at him from right here. He's right there in that same bay where that ductwork is going. And I'm screaming at him, get up, get up, get up. Acting like he's snoring. But he was caught. He wasn't asleep, he was just caught. So, I finally get guy number one to come out of the attic. And I go downstairs to try to keep an eye on him. And while I'm down there screaming on him, this guy finally gets up and acts like he's doing some work. I gotta jump up here real quick. This is like so freaking disheartening is what this is. This is so messed up. You know, I've given a lot of people an opportunity to work on this gig. You get what you pay for. Yeah, I get that. But damn, don't we got a story, right? So when I finally come back up after guy number two has gotten up, he's no longer laying back in that area. And instead, he's right here, okay? He's right here, face down, almost like praying in my return box right here. I think, you know, whatever that is. And I want to show you just how busted up this is. All right? And this guy is absolutely manic during this. Okay, look at my box. Look at that. Put a hole in it. He's face down in this. I tell him, get the F up. He grabs onto the duct to try to balance himself, is what he says. And then he's also tangled up in this electrical cord to this light. So there's that. So that got busted up, and then this junction box right there was stepped on in the process of this whole manic episode as well. That got broken. It's just broken. We'll have to replace that. That's the extent of it that I've seen. I've already been digging around up in here, trying to find if they left any paraphernalia up in here. I haven't ran across any. But it doesn't mean that there's not something up here. Okay? So, like what's going on with my duct over here? Like that is all jacked up. That ain't supposed to be like that. I got to bring the HVAC guys back out here, that's for sure. So here's where we stand. The electrical is damn near done. And I feel like we're in a good enough place to where we can finish it. I can finish it. Okay? So I want to share that with you first and foremost. There's not a lot of electrical that needs to be done. Hell, this shit should have been done days ago. It should have been done days ago. But guess what? I now know why it hasn't been done. Because my house, our felon flipper's flip house, has basically turned into like a crack shack. Oh, and also, here's my Lowe's bag. I had to go get a couple of light boxes. It was like 11 or 12 bucks. But what I came back to was priceless. So, there's that. All right, so here's what I want to share with you guys. On this project, I've tried to put guys to work. I've tried to do that, and it has just not worked out for one reason or another. I will accept the brunt of the responsibility, even in this situation, okay? I didn't force these guys to go and relapse and do whatever the they're doing, but I should have killed the job when I was planning to do so. I didn't do that. So at this point, one, there ain't gonna be no more putting people to work on this house. We've got our GC and his guys, and that's it. And the other part of that is at this point with this house, I can't even afford to do it. I told my wife, you know, when you're doing this, I've learned this much, you can only afford so many mistakes. Well, this has been nothing but mistakes, so I can't afford it. So what's gonna end up happening is, I'm getting ready to watch me a couple of YouTube videos, and it is what it is. And I'm gonna learn how to do electrical, I'm gonna learn how to wire up outlets and switches, because all of it's already ran. We need a switch right here. You know, this was supposed to be done 4 days ago. We got one switch, and then there's another switch that goes right beside it. One's for outside, one's for inside. So I'm gonna learn how to do that. And I think I heard that the garbage disposal switch doesn't work at all, so we gotta figure out what's going on with that. The garbage disposal switch is right there on the floor with all this long wire, and we left the switch floating because of putting the window in, and we just wanted to really make sure we put the switch in the right place. So I'm gonna figure that out. And then I've got some light fixtures that I need to put in. Those things that I went to the store to get yesterday. I gotta put one right there, which I'm pretty sure the HVAC system is right above that, so that's not gonna be easy. And I gotta put one right there. I gotta do that one. And there was one more. I can't remember what the third one, oh no, it was only two. I bought three boxes. One of them was a shallow box. One of them is a reinforced box. The reinforced box is going here. It's going right here. So, what I'm telling you guys is I have allowed this house to turn into the disaster that it has been. You know, I'm embarrassed by this. I know the comment section is going to be full of I told you so's and you get what you paid for's and you deserved it. I don't deserve this. I ain't done nothing but played fair with everybody that we brought on this job. Everybody. I've given so many people a chance here. And I need to focus on getting this house finished. So no more is it just gonna be, oh, let's come by and swing by and see what's going on over here. I'm gonna be what's going on over here for some of the work. some of the work, or what's left of work, that my GC's not doing. And that's the way that it's gotta be. There's no more chances. One of the guys in question, he's got a bunch of tools over here. He can come pick his shit up. Because this ain't the way this is gonna go, ever. This ain't the way it's ever gonna go. But unfortunately, this is the way that it's gone thus far. So it is what it is. I'm gonna get this damn thing finished, one way or another. I'm sure Evangelico's willing to help me.
Yep, absolutely, man. I got the next 3 days. I told my girl I got one bit of shutters. My next 3 days are nothing but here. So 3 days, I think we can get it up to par for the other guys to get at least 85% of this done besides the outside and just, you know, the little things that need to be taken care of that we haven't thought of right this second.
Well, appreciate you, man.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem at all. I apologize.
It is what it is, man. You can't control what somebody else is gonna do, man. You can only give them a chance.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there ain't no more chances to be given. All right, well, I just wanted to share this chaotic, crazy story with you guys. I really want to know what you guys think about this. It's time to get to work. I need to get to work, and you guys are probably gonna be seeing quite a bit of stuff from this house, because this is where I'm gonna be at until we get where we need to be. So that's all we can do.